to a brand new video on my channel. So this video is going to be about what most VRS channels have been blown up about for this week, and that is the Hero Pass. So on Monday, the Hero Pass was released, and I didn't do a video on it, and it was because I wanted to see what other people's reactions were. I wanted to see what the thoughts were behind it, and I wanted to give it a chance with the best hope that it weren't going to be what it was sort of put out to be, a more microtransaction version of Jagex. So this was the first post which was released, and this was basically going through all of the Heroes Pass, and basically, to put it short, it was a microtransaction version of Jagex, but had massive extra benefits to the game. Now this allowed you to do certain things with bossing, where you get rewards where you would get high level buffs, high level buffs for skilling, and the buff part was just too overpowered, and it really was a pay to win sort of model. Now, could this kind of model work in RS? It has to a point with Jagex if it's kept up to date and it's fresh and it's changing. And I think RS's idea of making it seasonal with the big updates at the time is quite a good idea. However, it can't be microtransactional, and it really should only be used for like cosmetics. Cosmetics in terms of override, armors. I mean, what they did with necromancy like conjures was really good, like having like skins for that was really cool. But all the other stuff in terms of like the passive buffs, the bonus XP, and the stackable XPs as well, it just wasn't what it should be, and it shouldn't have been a major update either. So basically this was released on Monday, which is why the YouTube world sort of burned with the feedback of players, and players sort of decided to kick back with their money. Reddit was on fire, and a lot of people put that they were going to cancel their membership, they were going to refund their premium membership packages, which was the best way to deal with it, and it really showed the Jagex that the players were going to talk with their money, and they weren't going to settle for this again. Obviously, throughout the years, the microtransactions have sort of become more and more visible. They've been more and more frequent, and don't get me wrong, I get a game needs it to survive, I get a game needs it to sort of venture out and develop further, and especially for cosmetic and skin size, there are players who like to do that, and fair enough, but this is not content and this is not an update. So for the most of the week, basically it was just piling up, like big channels would sort of comment on it, and people from outside like the Runescape world were commenting on it. Lots of articles and a lot of stuff was sort of thrown around of like the players kicking back and finally saying, no, this is enough, we will not pay for this, we will not work with this, and we don't want this. And then on the 8th, we got the player feedback. And to say this was a bit of a surprise was an understatement, and it was basically summed up with the first 3 words of "we messed up." Now, that is not something we normally get as feedback from Jagex on an update. Normally they will sort of take high ground, and it's basically like learn to live with it sort of thing. And they've basically like gone hard on all the pay to win aspects of the Heroes Pass, and here it talks through like what they're disabling, what they're taking off, what they're removing. So the Heroes Pass content buffs will be removed immediately, and entirely as well. So the content buffs will be removed entirely, and this is going to have to come next week because it's a cold fix. That's pretty big. And also disabling like the purchase to power through levels and past levels as well. Pretty big, because they're pretty much taking the buying power or the ability to buy it straight out of that. Good thing is as well that the daily challenges will be coming back, which is nice because the daily challenges really offered something good to the player, and I think it's more than just the free treasure hunter keys. They were nice and quick to do every day, and it actually did give you a reason to log on, which is what they're trying to do with the Heroes Pass. But I know people, and I'm one of them as well, who will log onto an account just to do my daily challenges. We saw it on the Bond account. The Bond account, I couldn't play that every day. With what I do, like with videos and making videos and stuff like that, I could not commit every day to that account. And I would tell you now, as a bare minimum, I would log in to do my keys and also do my free challenges because of what it offered my account. Because the XP was so good, I would be hindering my account if I did not do that. So to bring them back is a really good bit of faith as well. Now, in terms of the questions which you put down here, which is basically saying like, why did you not remove a hero pass entirely? This is the one bit I didn't like, is they've decided they're going to stick with the Heroes Pass. They're going to completely sort of adjust it and rechange it. They want something similar to a Jagex, which isn't grindy, but rewards you for logging in and playing the game. Which, yeah, that's fine, but it's a very fine line between like giving it the FOMO experience of you've got to do it, else you're going to like not benefit and lose out in a way. And especially like if they've got XP buffs, which I don't think they will do, it's forcing you to do it as soon as possible as well. So maybe if you're like set a goal currently to get 99 woodcutting, and this new Heroes Pass is pushing you to do things other than woodcutting, you're not playing the game for what you want to. And I don't know, it just don't sit right. But the thing is, the whole thing currently should be seen as a massive win. Things like this don't often happen, and people talking with their money and revoking their membership and cancelling their membership has really like proven that if an update comes which the players don't want, the players can talk and the players can walk as well. And the fact that Jagex has now like realised this and decided to change it is quite a big move. And the next step now, admittedly we've won this one, is to follow up on the talk, make this update proper, and don't be pushing these kind of objectives on us again. Don't be trying to push for these updates again, because it's not what the player base wants. So next week we're going to have the first batch of updates to adjust for Heroes Pass. So obviously there'll be a lot of patches in the patch notes, a lot of extra player feedback updates as well, which this will keep rumbling on for a little while. So while I didn't want to do like loads of posts, I mean, in time, as more and more comes back and more adjustments come back, I'll probably post like my thoughts and what it's done and what it's impacted and stuff. For me, the kind of content I made, I don't think I'm the kind of player to like do stuff on release and talk through that. I think for me, I talked about it a little bit in Market Watch because that's the kind of content I make, like the money making side, the grand exchange side, and how that affects me. But yeah, if there's anything major in the future, we'll definitely be looking at it. We'll definitely be questioning it and calling it out as well. But a little video just on a Sunday, just going through, this is basically where it's all happened and all the drama's coming from this week. So whether it comes back, who knows? If it changes massively, we'll make sure to do a video and let you guys know as well. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of it. Any more which comes out in terms of like updates or feedbacks related to Heroes Pass, we'll do some videos on it, we'll look into it, and maybe once Heroes Pass is finally polished and not something which completely breaks or like demeans the game, maybe look at doing like a little series around it, because if it's content which is what the game needs, which is not Yak Track, maybe it could be fun to do something based upon it as well. So we'll go from there. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have, please leave me a like, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.